Welcome to this iconic stop at the radar tower base.
Yep, we're standing here next to the radar tower. This is the final stop for the summit-only tour, and you'll be concluding here if you're the summit-only tour. So we'll start off here by talking about what this structure is, why it's here, and what its purpose was. You might ask people, you know, you may or may not have noticed this cube-like structure high up on a mountaintop in your travels through the Bay Area and wondered what it was, and let them know what it is, and that it was used these beautiful views that we're enjoying today to help protect the West Coast during the Cold War.
Right. They were used to detect primarily Soviet aircraft, and it was a system of radar antennas along the California coast. It really, as a station, was a place where people's whole lives were here. There were, I think, 125 approximately of military personnel and their families lived here year-round. Kids had to go down the mountain to school. There were amenities up here for people living here, including a bowling alley and a gym and a swimming pool, a gas station, a commissary, a mess hall. They did movies on Friday nights that cost a quarter. And there are many people who have really deep connections to this Air Force Station. Some wonderful military history. There will be booths, you know, down in the parking lot as you really conclude your end of your tours down there, and people have a chance to learn more about the military history. You may have people on your tours, again, that have a connection to this place, and you'll be put in a position quite likely to kind of manage their questions and the stories they want to share, maybe asking them to save those for transitions when you're walking along. But you do want to acknowledge that there are many folks, I think Leanne was going to point out, either just that have looked from it from the bottom, or they may have family or people that they know that were actually stationed up here as well.
And an opportunity to engage your group in an activity is, after you tell the story of, you know, paint that picture of what life was like living here at the summit as part of the military, you can ask people, just imagine what it might be like to live in a neighborhood up here. You know, just give them a moment to think about that. And
that part about the lip.
Yeah, so once you describe what life was like up here for the military personnel and their families, you can talk a little bit about the civilians down in the valley. There may be people in your group who lived in the San Jose area when this was an active Air Force station, and you can tell the story. They might recall having their TV or radio shows interrupted by a regular blip that was caused by the radar antenna on top of this tower spinning around.
Scanning, wow.
Mm-hmm. And then, you know, the Silicon Valley was emerging, technology was advancing, and this technology up here on the mountain became obsolete because of satellite technology. So the Air Force Station closed in 1980, and some of the folks who worked up here took their technical skills down the mountain into the Santa Clara Valley and contributed to the growth of the Silicon Valley.
The radar tower base continues today to support some elements of technology. You can have people look up and you can see a type of antenna that's actually a weather station piece of equipment that helps particularly folks with the Santa Clara Valley Water District make decisions about, you know, flows from reservoirs, and that really that technological piece influences and impacts water that's going into people's homes. So technology continues up here. That's one of the ways that you can point out to people.
And in addition to the antenna there that's helping provide water to folks down below, you can point out some of the watershed lands around us here. There's a beautiful
turkey vulture.
Turkey vulture, yeah. You can point out the watershed lands that are also contributing to providing for life down below.
Right.
And from here,
I was just going to point out there's another opportunity too that you can show people different features everywhere in this landscape with the 360-degree views. That there's the Bald Mountain parking lot and the actual Bald Mountain and the watershed that it looks down into. Okay, next transition.
Yeah, so if you are leading the preview trail tour, From here, you will transition your group over to the East Summit. Again, if you're leading the Summit Only tour, you will conclude, reiterate your theme, conclude your tour here, and lead your group back over to the stairs down to the booth area. And if you are leading the full trail tour, this will be your stop number 2.
And just as recollection, all the shuttles are staged out of the parking lot where the restrooms are and where the information booths are for folks.
Okay.